Hello, 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 and welcome. It's Friday. It's coffee time again, for I am on the Daily Mail website, so you don't have to go there. The first story up on their site is we're in the court. It's I don't know, neighbours from hell, building news. I don't know. This is the story of Shabazz Ashraf and his wife Shakira, who built an extension. Yes. They built an extension in their home. Where was it? Does it say where the house is? In London. Well, it's in London. And it ended up with them going to court. As you can see, we have a very handy picture of the two houses. But the judge ruled that the Ashrafs have acted in a very high-handed manner over the dispute, right? And there was an encroachment onto their neighbour's land by the extension of 68 millimetres. When it turns, it's going to be a very expensive 68 millimetres. For the couple, say they've spent £80,000. Pulling down a 1970s extension at the back of the house and replacing it with a new construction which has strayed into the garden of Avtar and Balvinder Dinjan's property. And again, they couldn't settle this, so it's ended up in court. But Mr. Dinjan claimed his neighbours intended to annoy him and his family while building over the boundary between their homes back in 2019. Right, so here's the Ashrafs. Here they are, heading to court. And Mr. Dinjan is on the right here. So yeah. It's been a very expensive extension because they've been ordered to rip it down and pay £200,000 in legal bills to the neighbours because of the judge ruled against them. The judge said one of the sad features of this case is that before parties began building a new extension to the rear of the property, they lived in harmony and were on good terms. It's a shame. But yeah. A joint expert surveyor concluded in his report that there was an encroachment of 68 millimetres. As well as to pay their own costs, Mr. and Mrs. Ashraf will have to pay their neighbours' lawyers' bills, estimated at almost £100,000, with £49,000 up front, leaving them paying £200,000 in total. Blimey! That's an expensive mistake to make, isn't it? I mean, you've really got to be careful with these things. Excuse me. I have a little bit of the lurgy, so if I cough and splutter a bit, then it's not my fault. Honest, Gov. Honest. What I love is that my reading list doesn't refresh anymore like it used to do. Like what it used to do. If I close Safari and reopen it. Oh no. Maybe I shouldn't. I'll leave it for a minute. I don't want anything to go wrong. I know. I'll just search for the story I'm looking for whilst chatting to you, because there was a story I saved earlier, which was a continuation of a story we'd looked at earlier. Yes, I don't know if you remember, but we covered this earlier in the year. Eva Green, the actress, she was going to court because a film she was making didn't get made. A film called A Patriot was closed down in October 2019, but she sued White Lantern Films for her $1 million fee because, again, under contract, she believes she should still get paid even though the actual production halted. And there was a big spat, and they rubbished her. They went to court and they rubbished her. It was really quite a nasty Quite a nasty case. But today, Mr. Justice Michael Green found in Eva Green's favour and ruled that she was entitled to the fee and dismissed the counterclaim brought against her by White Lantern Film, which was the company producing the movie. Justice Michael Green said, "I do not believe that any of the defendant's witnesses truly consider that Miss Green had withdrawn her services from the film and renounced the artist agreement." Because that was the whole basis of their case, that she'd renounced her contract, and she said she hadn't. So yeah, and he said it was based on false evidence from witnesses. So it was an 11-day trial. The court was told that Ms. Green described potential crew members as shitty peasants, the production as a shitty movie, and Mr. Sill, one of the producers, as pure vomit and a sociopath. But Mr. Justice Michael Green said she may have said some extremely unpleasant things about Mr. Sill and his crew at Black Hanger, but this was born from a genuine feeling of concern that any film made under Mr. Sill's control would be of low quality and will not do justice to the script, and that she and the former directors were passionate about. So there you go. It's going to be very costly for them. But yeah, she won her case, which is good. And she said it was a painful and damaging experience. If she was departing the building this morning after the judgment was ruled, looking pretty chipper. So there we go. That's one story we'd already covered. Right, where are we? I've got windows all over the place here. It's not looking good. Meanwhile, we're going to. This is a story. This is Jonathan Mayer. Here he is. He's a 41-year-old Dutchman. And why was he up in court? What's he been up to? Well, he's been donating sperm, and he reckons he's fathered up to 600 children around the world. But yeah, a Dutch court has stepped in and said that he's not allowed to donate any more semen to clinics. And if he does, he could be fined €100,000. That's £88,000 in proper money per infraction. That's one incredibly expensive money shot, isn't it? Judges also ordered Mayer, a musician from the Hague, a musician, eh? He certainly plays with himself quite often, to write to clinics abroad asking them to destroy any of his semen that they have in stock, except doses reserved for parents who've already had children by him. The decision came after a civil case was started by a foundation representing the interests of donor children and Dutch parents who'd used Mayer as a donor. They argued that Mayer's continued donations violated the right to a private life by his donor children, whose ability to form romantic relationships are hampered by fear of accidental incest and inbreeding. Sorry. Well, I hadn't read ahead. Yeah, of course. His mass donations first came to light in 2017, and he was banned from donating to Dutch fertility clinics where he'd already fathered over 100 children, but then he continued to donate abroad. You could say it was his hobby, his obsession. My goodness. Eva, a Dutch woman at the centre of the court case, had a child by Mr. Mayer in 2018, said it made her feel sick to the stomach that he'd fathered so many other children. She said, "If I'd known he'd already fathered more than 100 children, I would never have chosen him. If I think about the consequences this could have for my children, I am sick to the stomach." Do you donate to sperm banks? Leave a deposit in the comment section below. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'll happily donate if you send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the usual address, and I'll send it back to you in an envelope. That's an old joke, but I'm going to keep doing it until you laugh. What have we got? Oh, lots of royal news. Lots of royal news going on at the moment. It's a bank holiday weekend, isn't it? And they're warning: get ready for getaway chaos. Britain's battle busy roads and airports at the start of the May bank holiday. Do you know what I blame? I blame Brexit. That's what I blame. Blame Brexit. Meanwhile, Hetty Osmer was having a normal day at work in Cheltenham. She was making a sandwich whilst waiting the kettle to boil during her lunch break on Thursday. But then she was kind of drawn to the pack of sliced ham she bought earlier at Market Parade Tesco Express in Gloucester. For she was shocked. For she, when she looked at the ham, thought that she could see the face of Lady Di up here in this kind of pinky bit. Let me just zoom in. See, look, Lady Di in ham. It's a bit early for this story, isn't it? It's a bit early in the day. We should have worked towards this, but it was up. It was up early in the. Meanwhile, BBC is in chaos as Richard Sharp quits. He says he's doing it to avoid being a distraction, and this is after a report found he breached appointment rules by failing to declare part in Boris Johnson loan guarantee. So you can't even give a loan to our fluffy-haired ex-leader Boris Johnson without everyone getting upset about it. That's wrong, isn't it? It's wrong. So yeah, I am available for the job of chairman of the BBC. If anyone wants to appoint me, I'm available. I can start any time. Start on Monday if you want, even though it's a bank holiday. But I'll do it. Meanwhile, I think we'll mention the passing of broadcasting legend Jerry Springer, who passed but recently. He had pancreatic cancer. Again, a lesser-known fact, he was a Brit. He was born in a tube station during the Blitz before he relocated to America. But he was a one-of-a-kind and did a lot. He put social media and the internet on television, didn't he? All that weird stuff we read on here on social media, put it on the telly. But I was a big fan of Jerry Springer back in the day. Big fan. Because it was just bonkers. I know a lot of it was staged, but it was absolutely bonkers. Meanwhile, the Daily Mail's been playing with ChatGPT. Oh no, that can't be good, can it? But it asked about stereotypes from around the UK. Right? And it will tell you what ChatGPT thinks of your county. Okay. So let's get this in the screen because these never fit. So what we got here? Lanarkshire, you're hot-headed. Inverness Shire, you're stingy. In Cheshire, you're materialistic. Narrow-minded in Glamorgan. In Cornwall, you're lazy. In Dorset, you're bumpkins. You're arrogant if you're in London. Shallow in Essex. Me. Out of touch in Lincolnshire. Rude in Yorkshire. Uncouth in Durham. Unwelcome in Perthshire. Stingy again in Aberdeenshire. And aggressive in Staffordshire. There you go. That's what a chat GPT thinks of you. Basically, it hasn't got a good word to say for anyone. Meanwhile, our leader, Dishy Rishi, has been well, he's been throwing shade on Nicola Sturgeon. Yeah, what's he been doing? Because again, I don't know if you're out there, if you anyone out there, the SNP lost their leader. They've got a new leader now. She quit, and but yeah, so Dishy decided to stick the knife in. He said Nicola Sturgeon has quit beauty house to take driving lessons. Someone has to drive that motorhome after all. Oh, that's a wicked burn, because at the moment there's a massive investigation into missing funds. It was just rested in their accounts. There's this motorhome that was parked on a driveway, which was bought for 100. I think it was 100 grand, which they said it was for, party business. What SNP party bus? Woohoo! But yeah, so he stuck the knife in. Meanwhile, we're looking up into the stars. There's a super massive black hole out there, which they dubbed Scary Barbie. The remote object has such tremendous power, it has produced one of the brightest displays ever seen. Danny Milosevic, an assistant professor of physics and astronomy at Purdue University's College of Science, said, "It's absurd. If you take a typical supernova and multiply it 1,000 times, we're still not close to how bright this is. And supernovas are among the most luminous objects in the sky. This is the most energetic phenomenon I've ever encountered." He's never been in a room full of 5-year-olds on Red Bull and chocolate. And this is an artist impression. Yeah, that does look impressive, doesn't it? But yeah, and they've dubbed it Scary Barbie. Why? Why? But it's described as what's known as a transient, something that either appears and then disappears or changes in some dramatic way over the course of hours or days rather than centuries or millennia. Typically, these phenomena are extreme, short-lived events associated with the total or partial destruction of an astrophysical object. Bhagya Subbarayan, who's a graduate fellow at Purdue, said, "We think a very supermassive black hole pulled in a star and has ripped it apart." Oh, God, blimey. Scary stuff, isn't it? I'm glad it's out there somewhere. Meanwhile, they're having trouble with the Just Stop Oil people again, and the police won't move them along. See, look, it's like, "Oh, move along. You're saying, "Are you free later tonight, ladies? Are you free later tonight?" Because he's met police after all. They've all got an eye for the ladies. And this is now the Home Secretary is saying that we're going to have new laws, and they're going to rush through new laws to deal with them. We've already got laws, laws of obstruction. You don't need any more laws. But instead, Suella Braverman is going to somehow, I think, walking slowly. They're going to ban walking slowly, which could be a bit difficult down Oxford Street on Christmas Eve. Everyone's going to get arrested. But apparently that's a thing now. Walking slowly. It's like, do what? They ain't got a clue, have they? And neither of the police, because the laws are there. There you go. This is an interesting one. Thousands of Brits are unknowingly getting infected with a little-known bug called Yersinia enterocolitica. It was common in the 80s and the 1990s. Right? And if you see it, it looks like this. So keep them peeled. I think it's very small though. Right? But yeah, this can give you diarrhea. Lovely. And you can have it for about a week, I reckon. A week-long bout of diarrhea. Most cases are mild, but it can be fatal. And it's typically spread through eating contaminated pork, which hasn't been cooked properly. But yeah, I reckon that 7,500 Brits may be getting struck down annually. This is from the UK Health Security Agency. So yeah, it was popular in the 80s and 90s, but has faded a bit. And yeah, it's called Yersiniosis. There you go. Its decline over the past few decades was attributed to foot and mouth disease outbreaks, driving down pork consumption and better slaughterhouse hygiene. But yeah, as well as diarrhoea, common symptoms of the bacterial infection include abdominal pain, headaches and fever, joint and back pain, muscle pain, dizziness, and blood found in the stools. Don't want blood in your stools. No. Meanwhile, let's go to Kevin Malt, who was refurbishing his home in Aldlam in Cheshire when he was he was doing some DIY. And what did he find under the floorboards, under the kitchen floor? He found a 17-foot, 300-year-old well. Well, he said. Yeah, here he is uncovering it. And he documented his discovery on TikTok. Of course he did. But he's going to keep it. He's going to keep it as a display. For display purposes in his kitchen. I guess put a bit of glass over it or something. I've seen that on Grand Designs. Meanwhile, David Beckham admits that he stays up for hours of the night cleaning because he has OCD, and this is going to be part of his new £16 million Netflix series. Apparently he spends a lot of time making sure the candles are in the right place and are clean. But also I reckon he spends an awful lot of time counting his £16 million from Netflix for the series, you know, because you'd be a bit OCD about that, wouldn't you? Or could be 21 degrees sunshine over May Bank holiday. So get your shorts out. Air your shorts. Oh, they've found Britain's biggest pothole, everyone. It's called the Lake. That's its nickname. This is in a Lincolnshire village of Osgoodby. Right. And is that a pothole? I don't know, is that really? Just looks like the road sunk a bit. A little bit of subsidence. I don't know. Is that really a pothole? But I mean, it covers the width of the road, and they do. Oh, of course, there's a video, but you've got to sit through a 30-second ad advertising a car of some description. Fancy car. It's got nice seats. Yeah, looks really nice. It's a Bentley. They're advertising Bentleys for a pothole. I didn't see what it was before. I couldn't see the name badge. It's a Bentley. Discover more, Bentley. Alright, but yeah, here it is in video form. It doesn't look that bad. Doesn't look that bad, does it? Just need a drain. But I bet a drain's blocked there. That's what's happened. Or we're going to get an action shot of a car driving through it. Yes. Or then we have to see how deep it is. Oh yeah, I can see it now. You need the car. You need the car driving through it. Have you got a deep pothole where you live? Keep it to yourself. I'm not interested. Not interested. No, don't tell me. What else have we got? More royal news. There's a lot of royal news because of the coronation coming up. I don't really want to know about that. Is that a good one? Yeah, apparently they're going to be doing a movie reboot of Grange Hill. Yeah, can you believe it? Yeah, the producer has revealed that they're going to be bringing back Grange Hill and some of the original cast. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, Todd Carty, Lee McDonald and co-stars. They've got Where Are They Now? On the old Phil Redmond, or Sir Philip of Redmond. He also created Grange Hill. They've got this thing where, you know, people get old. Mind you, that's an old picture of Todd Carty, isn't it? See, that's what he used to look like when he was Tucker. But yeah. Dig-a-ding. So yeah, we could be seeing a new Grange. Of course, they reckon most of the budget is going to be used to digitally de-age Zamo. Apparently, just say no, kids. Just say no. Right. What else have we got? That's not much of a story. Is that a story? I don't know. Meanwhile, Spain is roasting in record-breaking 38 degrees heat wave. Apparently, it's the driest in 1,000 years, and they're on high alert for wildfires. Be nice, wouldn't it? Meanwhile, Ed Sheeran, he's still in court with he's defending his hit song "Thinking Out Loud," and apparently he cracked out his guitar yesterday and sang along. Yeah. It's all happening over there in America. There he is. So yeah, he gave me a little show to show how the song was constructed, and you know, this is at Manhattan's federal court because he's been accused by the family of the writer of Marvin Gaye's classic "Let's Get It On, Let's Get It On." Yeah, Ed Townsend, the co-writer of the song, his family have taken them to court, and here he is. I don't think that is that Ed Sheeran. I don't know if that is Ed Sheeran holding his own guitar case, but I'd like to imagine he took his own guitar case in, but it was probably a mate got him to do it. There you go. Let's go to Brazil. This is Hissam Hussein Dehaney. He's the mayor of southern Brazilian city of Acadu. Sorry, the screen moved for some reason. Aracuria. Which the screen went like that. It's all the pop-ups. He's 65, right? And he recently wed Coane Road Dehani. Yeah. Here he is with his bride. And he married her 4 days after she turned 16. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Yeah. But he believes in keeping it in the family because he actually named his mother-in-law city secretary for culture and tourism, Marilyn Road. She got promoted, right? But then last Tuesday, she was removed from the role because everyone's gone, wait a minute, you promoted her and married her daughter, who's 16, and you're 65. I'm sure it's love. I'm sure it's love. But yeah, his Sam Hussein Dehaney is father to 16 children. That's why he married her, 16. He's been married 6 times. Yeah? And the newspaper reported that he was arrested in November 2000 as part of a drug trafficking investigation. Prosecutors alleged he protecting drug traffickers and bribing police officers for protection, but he wasn't convicted of any of the charges. He looks all right. There he is with his 16-year-old bride. And he did wait. He waited 4 days for her to be 16. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. What goes on in it? What goes on out there? Is there any other stories? Let's see. Oh God, I've done quite a little bit of time already, isn't it? So many stories. Mind you, you wouldn't want to be on this. You want to be on the Avianca Airlines AV9377 flight from San Andres Island to Bogota in Colombia. This is on April the 25th. You wouldn't want to be on this plane. It's flying over. Keep your eye out for suddenly, the engine goes pop. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, I had to carry out an emergency landing because a bird flew into an engine. What you saw there was a bird getting sucked in to the engine. Poor bird. Oh, it's all gone quiet. My computer's decided that I don't need the fan full on. Oh no, it's getting warm again. Why'd you do this? I was nearly at the end and it refreshed. There was a good story I just saw. Wait a minute. I saw a good story. Now I've got to find it again. Where did it go? Where did it go? Wait a minute. I went there. I went there. Went there. It's gone. Son of a... Oh, I have to search for it. Bear with me. Bear with me. It caught my eye before it disappeared. I tell you, the Daily Express, they don't play fair anymore. So yeah, America, eh? Apparently, the New York Times cooking section, their Instagram account, shared a recipe, right? Which has been mocked. Why has it been mocked? Kenji Lopez Out's tuna melt sandwich, right, was mocked. The best-selling author and chef said that you could add some crisps to it to give it more stability. Add crisps, and of course, all the Brits saw it and said, "Crisp sandwich? We've done that first. That's what we do." And rightly so, the Americans were mocked. We mocked them. We mocked them good. We certainly did. They were mocked for their crisps. Meanwhile, we can end now with I've got an animal story for you. This is the story of, well, it's an anonymous dog owner because they were too ashamed to admit what happened. This story was shared on Reddit, apparently. And is there a picture? Yeah, there is a picture. But again, the Daily Mail's doing that weird thing where it doesn't want to destroy it. One doesn't want to display any of the pictures because, hey, that would make my life too easy if the web page would actually do what it's supposed to do. Yeah, so anyway, they took the dog to the local grooming salon in Michigan, and they'd been there like regular customers for like 5 years, right? So they picked the dog up. I was handed the dog and went home. Yeah, and they got in the car and they looked and they went, wait a minute, that's not my dog. Yeah, they were handed the wrong dog. They didn't notice it until they actually got in the car, looked around at Poochie and went, wait a minute. And this is the right dog. But I've got to admit, they kind of do look a bit similar, don't they? Let's have a look. Oh, then again, I don't know. The ears are different. The ears are longer. There you go. So there you go. But it was all fixed. But they were just embarrassed that they didn't recognise their own dog. Like you do. Like you do. So there you go. And that's that. A bit rubbish today. Bit rubbish. Let's see if there's anybody in. 11 people in. Blimey. It's almost a party, isn't it? Fasano's in. He said, good day. 3 people in. It's a party. It's almost. It says, Prog News. Carl Palmer's recovering nicely from heart surgery. Yes, I did see the picture. And Andrew says, oh, I'm in there. It's going to be a heat wave, indeed. Alex says, are you a fan of Robert Eggers? Yes, I've reviewed his films. Yes, I reviewed them, Alex. But it doesn't matter because nobody sees the videos I make because YouTube does its best to hide a lot of what I do. But seriously, if you go and check my playlist, can I find it? My TV review playlist, you'll know that Eggers is one of my favourite filmmakers. Content, playlists, TV and movie reviews. In the old days, you could just get it to get a shareable link. Oh, it does work. YouTube for once is working. Hurrah! If you go here, Alex, you'll be able to watch some of the reviews. There you go. Thank you. Dogcam, she's not in here, so you can't have it. You can't have Dogcam. I can give you Yoshi-cam instead. There you go. Not quite as good, but there you go. And that's that. Oh, Rene's in. Hi, Rene. And that was the end of that. Thank you for watching. That has been coffee time for today. Oh, you're welcome. I review all of them. From The Witch to The Lighthouse to The Northman. Because I'm a big fan. Much better than that hack, Harry Astor. And yeah, thank you for watching. That's it. The end of the week. Hope you have a good weekend. Just Darren came exactly. I don't know where she is. I don't know if she's at the bottom of the stairs. Sometimes she goes and lays at the bottom of the stairs. Sometimes she goes upstairs in the bedroom. She's very much her own being. She wanders around. Not like Hannah used to just stay in her bed and never used to investigate. Whereas Layla, she's more of a free spirit. You know? You're welcome, Aracat. Talking newspaper. That's right. Well, I just find funny stories that amuse me because, you know, it's meant to be funny. But anyway, have a good weekend, everyone. For us, it's a bank holiday, so I don't know if I'll be doing a coffee time because it's a bank holiday. Technically, it's an extended weekend, isn't it? But anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed that. See you all again soon. There's only one more thing left to say, and that is killing the channel one video at a time. But more importantly, you know you've got to drink it up. And happy birthday, Andrew. Happy birthday to you. Squash, tomatoes and stew.